We're in South Korea to drive the all-new Hyundai Genesis. It's the first car from the car company that showcases the Fluidic Sculpture 2.0 design language. But most importantly, it's the first Genesis with the steering wheel on the right side of the car. You might not know Hyundai as a maker of luxury cars, but the company already makes the Equis that rivals the BMW 7 Series and the Genesis that rivals the 5 Series. But up until now, neither of these two have been available in right-hand drive. Now obviously this isn't a right-hand drive Genesis, but it gives us our first taste of what we'll be seeing on Australian roads. Immediately there's an enhanced sense of quality over other Hyundai models. The aluminium trim, the unpolished wood with real knots and rings, the soft leather on the seats, everything feels properly luxurious. There's no question that the Genesis is quite a large step up from the most premium products offered by Hyundai Australia in the past. There's plenty of features inside the cabin too, like the heated and cooled seats, the heated steering wheel, and this really large high-resolution satellite navigation screen, which also incorporates the round view monitor, which uses multiple cameras positioned conveniently around the car that gives a top-down view when you most need it. Befitting a proper luxury sedan, the rear seats are just as luxurious as the front, and you've got all these buttons to control everything just from back here, including your entertainment screens. They can be controlled independently, which means you can be watching TV while the driver focuses on the satellite navigation. The rear seats also feature cooling and heating, and when it comes time to having a nap, they recline for that little bit of extra comfort. And if you don't like your front passenger, you can even move him forward. That's all well and good, but how does it drive? Perhaps the first thing you'll notice when you jump inside is just how quiet the car really is. At about 100 kilometers an hour, you can barely hear anything. And that may have something to do with the double glazed windows or all the sound deadening that Hyundai has put in. Whatever the case may be, it rivals the S-Class and the BMW 7 Series. Under the bonnet is a 3.8-litre V6 which has 232 kilowatts of power and 397 newton-meters of torque. Now, that may not seem like much for a car this big, but couple it to an 8-speed automatic transmission and it really gets up and goes. The 8-speed gearbox isn't exactly quick, but it's smooth between gear changes, and the additional ratios certainly help with fuel economy in the absence of stop-start. We're driving over some pretty ordinary roads here in South Korea, and it just proves how good the new adaptive suspension is. Using the drive mode button down here, you can actually change the suspension from comfort to sport for when you want to have a bit of fun around a twisty bit of road. And I gotta tell you, for a car this size and in this price range, that's a feature that's unheard of. As well as 9 airbags and all the passive safety systems money can buy, the Genesis also comes with an array of active safety systems, such as forward and lane departure warning, rear cross traffic detection, and blind spot monitoring. Now, between you and me, the system really tends to annoy me. See, if I go in front of this person and I indicate left, see, that's totally safe. I can easily merge here, and yet the system gets a little bit crazy. Hyundai says the Genesis rivals the BMW 5 Series in terms of ride and handling, and given how well it goes around corners, I have to agree. Dynamically, it resembles the Germans in many ways, no doubt aided by its near 50-50 weight distribution, and even at 200 kilometers an hour, it feels right at home. As luxurious as the cabin is, the steering wheel is a bit of a letdown. It feels like something Hyundai has taken out of its parts bin, and you can tell that easily by looking at these plastic paddle shifters, which are certainly not what a luxury car is made of. I think my favorite feature inside is actually the head-up display, which shows everything from satellite navigation data to your speed to whether or not there's someone sitting in your blind spot. And for me, I think it's one of the best in the business. After more than 2,000 kilometers of driving, I'm pretty impressed with the new Genesis. You know, it might not be as luxurious or prestigious as a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, but at around a quarter of its price, it's a phenomenal package and it deserves to do really well.